Hello and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. Today's podcast number 1786. The topic is training, and the title is Programming Techniques to Increase Shoulder Width. Ooh. So if you want wider shoulders, we got you covered. One of my clients is a personal trainer, and he wants a better physique for social media posts. He's lean, but he says he wants to look kind of better than average. The two areas that we decided to focus on were shoulder width and calves. He doesn't have very good calves, so considering every video he's in shorts, he wants his calves to be more defined and just bigger as we can get them. And he wants more shoulder width. Most of the videos he's facing directly at the camera and he's doing a lot of talking, so he wants wider shoulders and more of like a shoulder cap, so that way he has just a better aesthetic kind of X frame. He has a smaller legs, it's more of like a lifestyle kind of coaching, so he more so wants like a V frame than an X. But shoulder width, calves, that's what we're focusing on. The programming techniques that we're using that you can steal and use for yourself. One programming technique is to increase frequency. So we want a higher frequency of the targeted muscles. So we're talking about shoulders specifically. We're going to start each workout with a superset for shoulders and calves. So if it's chest day, he's going to start with shoulders and calves, then do chest. If it's back, he's going to do shoulders and calves, then do back. If it's legs, he's going to do shoulders and calves, then do legs. So how we have him set up is he has a chest dominant day, a back dominant day, legs. Then he has a shoulders day, and then we have like the last day where we'll rotate 1 week is chest, 1 week is back, 1 week is chest, 1 week is back. So it's a nice little blend where he's getting mostly upper body, but we're getting that prioritization on the shoulders and the calves by starting every single workout with a shoulder and calf superset. Now, at the beginning of the week, when we do his chest day and back day, the exercises and the techniques that we use for the shoulders and calves are higher rep ranges, longer time under tensions, like 40 to 60 seconds. And so the idea here is we don't want to destroy the shoulders and calves right at the beginning of the week, because then that just taps into recovery ability for all the body parts, and it just annihilates his energy. It just crushes the rest of the week. So we want lighter weight loads, but we still want high intensity. So what we're doing is we're doing consistent TUT, time under tension sets. So what I have him do is I want him to do a raise for 60 seconds. And we're going to start with like 5-pound dumbbells. I don't care. He just moves for 60 seconds. The idea at the lighter weights is if he's doing a side lateral raise, I want him to come up at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then go down at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So each rep, you could say, is roughly going to take 10 seconds, but he's probably going to count a little fast, so it's probably going to be like 8 seconds. What that ends up being then, in 60 seconds, he might do 6, 7, 8 reps. Then we're going to go to 10-pound dumbbells. He still has to maintain 60 seconds. But now that it's a little heavier, maybe it has to be a 4 count, like 4, 3, 2, 1. He's at the top. Then on the way down, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now maybe he gets 10, 12 reps. Like he gets extra reps in there. Then we go to 15 pounds. Since it's heavier, he has to do a faster time under tension, faster rep tempo, but he has to maintain the 60 seconds of time under tension. So now maybe it's like a 3 count, like 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Now maybe he's doing 15 total reps. So the rep count is going to change because we're using slower rep tempo at lighter weights, and then as the weight gets heavier, we go with a faster rep tempo. But the time under tension for the sets is consistent. Week 1 is 60 seconds, week 2 we do 50 seconds, week 3 is 40 seconds, and then I have in week 4 do another 40 seconds just to see if he can move up in weight or make it somehow challenging. But that's the techniques we're using at the beginning of the week, is consistent TUT sets, and then he changes his rep tempo based on how heavy the weight is. By the end of the week, we're actually doing cluster sets. So this is lower rep ranges, much heavier, and shorter little bursts of time under tension. So he might pick a weight that he can do for an 8 rep max, very heavy, but he's just going to do 2 reps, count to 10 seconds. 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 So maybe, week 1, we do 6 sets of 2 with 10 seconds in between. Week 2, we do 7 sets. Week 3 is 8 sets. Week 4 is 9 sets. The idea is you increase the set count, but you keep it as a sub-maximal rep count per set. But he ends up doing a more total repetitions than he could typically do with a singular set. That is a much heavier technique than the constant tut sets, but it's still safe for the joints because he's not going to maximal effort. He's not breaking down on technique. So that's one thing we're doing is higher frequency with variable techniques, starting the week with lighter loads and then heavier loads at the end of the week. That's one. The second thing we're doing with programming techniques is we're prioritizing for the shoulders, the middle shoulder and the front and the rear shoulder. So what he'd been doing before is he just thought the heavier presses he did, the more shoulders he would get, but that was over developing the front shoulder. The front shoulder gives you shoulder width if you're viewed from the side. So it gives your shoulder like thickness. But we want width when viewed from the front. And what you're actually seeing in the edge, like the side edge of the shoulders, is the middle deltoid and the rear deltoid. Deltoids are a fancy word for shoulders. So we need to prioritize the middle and rear delt, not the front delt. So his shoulder day is a raise, a fly, then a press. Before he was doing like a press, a fly, then a press, raise, then fly. So what we're doing now is raise, fly, press. So he does a lateral raise, then a different type of lateral raise, then a reverse fly, then a different type of reverse fly, then he finishes with presses. That makes the middle and rear delt pre-exhausted, so they're destroyed. By the time he gets to a press, they get actually annihilated by trying to stabilize the press. So the press actually is more demanding and actually targets the middle and rear delt better because he pre-exhausts them. Then the other workouts, those supersets we're doing at the beginning of the other workouts, we're doing a rear delt fly on the first day of the week, a lateral raise on the second day of the week, rear delt fly on the third day of the week, then fourth day shoulders. Then the fifth day of the week, he does just another shoulder raise, lateral raise. So fly, raise. So that's the second technique that we've been doing, is prioritizing the middle and rear delts to get more shoulder width. So deprioritize presses, focus more on lateral raises and rear delt flies. The third thing we're doing is an intra-workout and post-workout protein blast. His protein was kind of crap before. He would struggle to get at least his body weight in, so we've adjusted that. Intra-workout, he's going to get 40 grams of protein. Post-workout, he's going to get 40 grams of protein. Right there is 80 grams of protein. That's roughly a third of his protein immediately around the workout, when the body would need it most and be able to utilize it most for protein synthesis, new muscle creation. We took his daily protein target where he was consistently about 160 to 180. He weighs about 185. So he was 160 to 180. We're now up at 220. So I gave him different foods to eat, different portion sizes, different structures and schedules. We got his daily protein up to 220 grams now. And not much more strenuous, kind of the same meal schedule, everything, just better food selections for higher protein content. That was a lot of information, but I like it. So how can you use these techniques? Pick a body part that you want to prioritize. Start every workout with 3 to 6 hard working sets of an isolation exercise for that body part. Then, when you train that body part in its own major workout of the week, you want to prioritize isolation exercises before your compound movements, and you want to select exercises specific to the area of the muscle that you want to grow. So say you want to grow your chest, but specifically your upper inner chest. Then you got to prioritize upper inner chest exercises. Maybe variations of a cable fly, one arm fly, or cable crossovers. Pinch press with dumbbells at a 15-degree incline. Try to prioritize via exercise selection the specific area of the muscle belly that you want to grow. Do isolations and hyper-focused movements for that area, then expand out to train the entire muscle group. That will help a ton. And then the third thing, protein. Try to get your protein count up to 1 to 1.25 grams per lean pound of body weight. I thought this was super fun. Love these kind of things. This is what I do. This is what I love. This is my passion, is finding these freak ways to hyper-focus on things. But I really love these techniques, and I thought you might want to hear them. If you have any follow-up questions, just shoot me an email at brutalironjim@gmail.com. If you want me to do your programming so you get kick-ass, cool, weird things like this. We do one-on-one coaching for training and nutrition. You can find out more about that service on the website, www.brutalironjim.com. Okay. If you like the podcast, please share the podcast. If you like the podcast, please consider donating to support the podcast, which you can do on the website. If you like the information we share in the podcast, you can find more from us on our social media channels. You can find us and follow us on Instagram and YouTube under the name Brutal Iron Gym. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.